cannot ever happen again. There is no point in having an immediate shelter system if the people who most need it don't know about it.
Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan vows to make changes to improve the city's homeless services. It comes after 2 young children died from apparent hypothermia while living in a van earlier this month. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Bruckner. Today, Duggan and other city officials outlined a 7-point plan to address gaps in the city's response to the homeless community. CBS News Detroit's Gino Vici joins us live now from Detroit with more on these plans and what city officials hope will make a difference. Gino?
Well, Meredith, they hope this 7-point plan helps residents who need shelter get access to available beds and resources like here at this shelter on Gratiot near 8 Mile. Now, the bottom line, the city says what happened with Tatiana Williams and her 2 children must be prevented at all costs.
This cannot ever happen again. I want a system in this city that every single person who is on the street, wants and needs housing, has immediate access.
In light of the tragic deaths of 9-year-old Darnell Curry and 2-year-old Amila Curry, who were living in a van with their mother, Tatiana Williams, the city of Detroit announced it has revamped its process to get those needing shelter access to it and much faster, especially those with children. Duggan also highlighted the timeline of when Williams initially reached out for help and the system failed her back in November.
And the heart-breaking aspect of this is that we never had contact with Ms. Williams or her family after November 25th. She did not know that the immediate shelter system had gone into place. Our outreach teams were looking in the usual places. They were not looking for somebody living in a van in parking structures.
The city, alongside Deputy Mayor Malia Howard, head of housing Julia Snyder, and DPD, laid out this 7-point revised plan to make sure families in need get shelter. The city will now require in-person interviews for families with minor children. They will actively search for families living in their vehicles. They'll also expand the shelter hotlines to 24 hours a day. The number of drop-in beds will be doubled. The city will also add additional outreach teams at night. They'll also continue using police precincts as intake centers. And finally, make sure unsheltered families get the right information. Mayor Duggan insists the city had the resources and beds available. The challenge has been communication and follow-through, but says that can no longer be tolerated.
There is no point in having an immediate shelter system if the people who most need it don't know about it.
Back here live now, 2 weeks ago, when the city reminded residents they can walk into a police precinct, we're told at least 24 people have come into police precincts to find shelter. But again, some of the big takeaways here, officials will be more proactive about searching for families living in their vehicles, as well as prioritizing families looking for shelter with minor children. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Gino, for those updates.